Hello, my dear group mates and Professor Shank. First of all, let me apologize in front of you guys. Honestly, because of these deadlines and all the assignments of final week, I literally forget about the presentation part of memos. So again, I'm so sorry and hope you will all understand me. And let's get it started. In this week, I'll present you my memo on the topic of COVID-19 and how does it affect on Russian federalism. Here you can see the plan of today's presentation, and according to the outline of my presentation, we will have 8 slides. Let's get it started from the first one. Over the past 2 decades, Russia has been increasingly accused of non-compliance with its state regime, namely federalism. Critics of the current government argue that the power in Russia is overly centralized. Although, according to the ideology of federalism, power should be balanced and governments should be distributed at regional levels. In a work entitled The COVID Biopolitics in Russia, Putin's Sovereignty versus Regional Governmentality, Andrei Makarich, Maria Gose, and Anna Kuznetsova argue that the situation with pandemic has made its own corrections. In today's memo, we'll consider how much the situation with COVID-19 contributed to the division of power into regional levels and how this situation is being implemented. According to the news published on the Российская Gazeta website from April 17, 2020, changes have been made into the decree of the head of the Republic of Crimea. According to this change, a high alert regime for COVID-19 has been declared on the territory of Crimea. These adjustments and changes were made in agreement with the head of the Republic, Sergei Vladimirovich Aksenov. This decree banned a number of public places in order to reduce the spread of the virus among residents of the Republic. According to the paragraph 3, citizens who have returned to the territory of Crimea, the state must provide them self-isolation at the place of residence for 14 days. During this period, the citizens is released from work, study, and etc. Returning to our main text about the situation with COVID-19 and biopolitics to which it led, I can say that this theory is fully reflected in this news. According to the work of Andrei Makarechev and other two authors, Putin is currently pursuing a policy of dividing his power into local governments. There are several reasons why he came to this decision. Firstly, people began to discontent with the excessive power of the Kremlin in the policy-making process. Moreover, Putin, who was already losing his respect among the people, realized that it was necessary to give free rein to the local governor and thereby relieve himself of a little responsibility. Secondly, analyzing the situation in the country, Vladimir Vladimirovich realized that he couldn't cope with the whole pandemic crisis in the country alone. The best solution would be to divide the power of government into regional levels so that everyone make a decision based on their local situation. In other words, after this decision, the local governor of the republic have the right to independently make decisions and regulate laws based on the local needs. After local leaders have received power and there is no longer a single centralized government, it looks like this will help change the structure of Russian federalism. The transfer of power to subnational regions was the first step toward the decentralization of power in the country. However, after conducting a series of studies, the authors of this paper conclude that this change in the division of power didn't have much impact on federalism in the territory. The problem is that Russia still remains non-liberal since the center still has its up on subnational regions. And for change to occur, this requires much more attention to decolonization of both Russian sovereignty power and the government practices. This change in management also attracted the attention of political scientist Dmitry Mikhailichenko. In an interview with a Regnum correspondent, he expressed his skepticism and that this change would lead to real federalism. According to his words, Mr. Mikhailichenko certainly confirms that over-centralization negatively affects the development of the regions. However, he cites an example from 19th when the heads of regions and governors had the opportunity to develop self-government. but instead they decide to build their vertical power at the regional level by copying what the center was doing. In fact, even having the opportunity to develop local self government, the heads of the republics will not take advantage of this opportunity, but on the contrary, will build local hierarchical authorities that will not help the development of federalism in any way. Concluding this topic, I would like to say that I fully agree with the expert opinion of Dmitry Mikhailichenko that this division of power will not lead to federalism. From my point of view, the power of Putin among the heads of the regions is high. The fact that even without having direct power over the region, Putin can influence to their decisions. Even if the heads of subnational regions want to make a decision, they will still reckon with the center. Thank you for your attention. Hope you will enjoy.